Sure, we've traveled all around the country, but some weeks at home are just hectic. It's the last week of school, we've got graduation parties this weekend and next weekend, and what's life like living with an EV when you're running all over the place? Let's take a look. We're on our way to Duluth. We left home at 92%, and we're now just cruising through Minneapolis. We're at 82%. It's saying we're going to get to Duluth and the pizza place where the graduation party is at 6%. I'm guessing at some point here it's going to add a charge stop, but we don't really care. We have enough time built in. And you've seen us go to Duluth many times, so that's not really a great road trip. Not anything new to share. But we've been all over the country, and I wanted to show you what a typical week was like when you've got a lot of busy extra things going on, but you've also got the daily home things. So we're going to show a couple clips from this trip to Duluth and then follow through the rest of the week as my wife drives it to work, as we're charging at home most of the time, and then we've got more graduation and extra drives next week too. So hopefully this is going to be a fun look at what a typical week of driving an EV is like. As usual, we made a stop halfway out. We need a bathroom break, so stopped at Hinckley at 41%. If you're not familiar with superchargers, Tesla has my card on file, so when I plug in, it recognizes my VIN and bills my account without extra steps. Just plug in and walk away. Charging rate here is 39 cents a kilowatt hour. Said we could have made it to the pizza place with still 5%. So you're either going to stop here beforehand or up at the casino. So this worked. After the restroom stop, I noticed their ice cream shop was open, so we wasted some time at the picnic table getting a jump on summer treats. Well, our ice cream took a while, so we got up to 94%. Way too much, but that's all right. That cost $13.10. 94% at 158, and saying we'll get to Duluth with 58%, way more than we needed, and it's going to be another hour. So let's get on the road. Easily up to Duluth, but only there for a couple hours before heading south again. The car mapped out another stop in Hinckley, estimating a 13% arrival. But this time we didn't hang out so long. We just used the restroom back at Toby's, grabbed a couple of blueberry muffins for breakfast tomorrow morning, and we're charging up. I think we got here around 14%, and this should be enough to get us all the way home. Good enough to continue our trip at 65. Says we'll get home with 10%. More than enough. Now 11%. Get moving, Brian. Joan and Mom are enjoying a cinnamon roll. Still 39 cents a kilowatt hour. That total was $12.69. Nice. Back home with 14%. Easy day up and back to Duluth. Didn't do any sightseeing, just a graduation party. I turned the charge level back down to 80% for our daily charging. It'll be ready by 7 a.m., no problem. So we'll at least check in every day to give you a picture of what it's like to really live with an electric car day to day. This is my home charge setup, just a NEMA 1450 plug, dryer or oven outlet, and then the mobile connector that came with the car. Just pull it off the wall, stick it in there, and then it'll be ready in the morning. I did change the current down. You can turn that down or up. We don't need to charge fast overnight, so I just drop it to 24 to be a little easier on the battery long term. I almost forgot our trip here. This is our last charge in Hinckley. It's only 97 miles, 320.8 watt hours per mile. And overall on the day so far, 237, 326.4. It was almost entirely interstate driving, and we used almost a full battery to do it. Sunday, we stayed close to home with the typical running around and a new nearby park. We used 9% and totaled only 18 miles that day. At our off-peak charging rate, that would have only cost 54 cents to replace, bringing our weekend total to 255.5 miles and $30.31 spent. Plugging in again sets us up for Monday. Monday morning, back up to 80%. Ellie's working from home today, so am I, but have some errands to run, so should be a pretty light day. All right, the end of a work from home day, just a few errands running around, grocery shopping, Costco stop, that kind of stuff, and going to the park with Joan. We were at 80% when we woke up. It's 71% now, so hardly used anything since our last charge. We've only gone 14.5 miles, pretty efficient, just in town stuff. And overall since Saturday, we've gone 270 miles. And this is a great example of the benefits of charging at home. It's simple, but it's also, each night is not a 0 to 100% charge. We're going to go from 71 to 80 overnight, which is almost nothing. And 80 will be plenty for what we need tomorrow when Ellie has to drive into work. Tuesday evening, we're down to 44% after Ellie's work. Since this morning, she went 69 miles, 245.6 watt hours per mile, cruising through the traffic there. Our overall trip for the week so far since Saturday is 339 miles at 304.5 watt hours per mile. We're plugged in and we'll be back to 80% in the morning. And at the end of Wednesday, after some more errands, after Ellie got home, today's travels were 65.3 miles, average of 235.5 watt hours per mile. That brings us to a total for the week of 404.1 miles. That's going to pick up Friday and Saturday again. But our overall average is down to 293.4. We're at 45%, so let's plug in and get back to 80 easily overnight. And we end Thursday after Ellie drove to work and I went out for a late movie at 34% since this morning. Car's gone 97.1 miles, an average of 243.4, so very good. And this last week, so far, we've gone 500 miles. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit more travel. It's also 1:09 a.m. and we'll still be ready to go by 7 a.m. To make sure the charging completed by the end of my off-peak electric price time of 7 a.m., I bumped the amps back up to 32, so we'd be ready to roll in a few hours. We easily gained that 46% back, and it only cost $2.77. On to Friday. And I'm just getting going at 7:48 this morning, running up to the store, but we're at 80%. Now for a day of errands. We stopped by a brand new Francis Energy DC fast charger in Burnsville to check it out. Nice to see it right here in the split of Interstate 35 as it splits to W and E going through each of the Twin Cities. We of course didn't need a charge, so continued to southern Minnesota for the day to help prep for a grad party. Then a pit stop on the way home and another stop in Bloomington after dinner to see the construction of the new Walmart fast chargers near the airport and Mall of America. I think we're home for the night with 18% at 7:12 p.m. After a lot of running around today. That was 120.6 miles, 269 watt hours per mile since this morning. And overall in the week, and this is technically the end of the week, but we're going to do tomorrow too. We are 622.6 miles, 281 watt hours per mile. And on the charging screen, I just dropped our amps down back to 24, since we'll have longer time tonight, and we've got a lot of driving tomorrow, so I'm bumping that up to 90%. Saturday morning and we're all charged up again, ready to start a busy afternoon and evening at 90%. Home late at 9:57 at 4% after a very busy day of graduation parties, shopping, a matinee movie, more shopping, and a run down to my hometown and back. So since this morning, we've gone 175.1 miles at 274.8 watt-hours per mile. And Saturday to Saturday, our last week of school trip here was a total of 807 miles, 279.5 watt-hours per mile. So far, lifetime on the car, we've got 139,681 miles packed onto this Model Y. But since we're down at 4%, let's plug in. Now tomorrow we don't have a lot going on, so I'm back to 80% charge limit, and I'm going to drop the charge rate down to 24 amps again, because it's got plenty of time to do it. And it'll be ready by 7 a.m. Start another week. Should be smooth sailing from here. So even though we were down to 4% and charging 76% overnight back to 80 did give us our most expensive home charge of the week, it was still only $4.58, and bringing our 8-day total up to $46.82. With our total of 903.5 miles, we can see that our cost per mile was a very good 5.2 cents. Now this part wasn't planned, I just picked both Saturdays for a larger sample size, but if we eliminate one or the other Saturdays, we can get a picture of what a full week is like with occasional DC fast charging, and that gives us a total of 728.5 miles and a cost of $42.24, equaling 5.8 cents per mile. Conversely, if we look at it with a full week of home off-peak charging, we traveled 559.5 miles at a cost of only $17.05, equaling only 3 cents per mile. And if we look at these three situations together here, obviously it's cheaper if you can charge at home. But I hope this gives you a good picture of a typical busy family week with an EV. Let me know if I missed anything or if you have any questions down below. Like and subscribe for more summer fun coming up. And in the meantime, thanks for watching, have a great day, and happy road tripping or staying home for the week.